It's wet, miserable weather. Honestly, it's enough to drive you to drink. But anyway, let me cheer you up, or at least try to cheer you up, with a tale of two turbopowers. So, picture the scene. It's Wednesday evening, it's scorching hot. I was in the lounge, lying on the sofa like a beach whale, sweating into it. It was awful. And I thought to myself, oh, do you know what? I haven't checked Facebook Marketplace for ages. Now, as we know, I had quite good luck with that Hoover Commercial C1300, which is just there, I can see it. Which was a really great find. And I thought, well, that's not going to happen again, is it? Just don't be silly. So I thought, well, I'll just have a look anyway. I was like, sweating. So I went on to Marketplace, typed in Hoover, because I always start with Hoover, because people list things as, oh, it's Hoover. It's not a Hoover, it's a Dyson, or it's a Henry, or something like that. So type that in, click search, and then obviously all the results come up, and you get the results in your local area first, and you can select the distance. Why am I doing an instructional video of how to use Facebook Marketplace? You know how to use Facebook Marketplace. Anyway, moving forward, results came back, and then I was scrolling down through, and there was nothing really interesting, excuse me, not in my local area, so I'm scrolling. There's all the usual, this Dyson this, Dyson that, Henry this, there's a Hetty, nothing interesting at all. And it gets to the point where it says, results outside your local area. So I thought, well, I may as well just carry on looking. So I'm looking, scrolling down. And I got to Newport. Newport's probably about 40 miles away from me, something like that. And I scroll. And then suddenly, this picture of a Hoover Turbopower U2194 comes up, scrolls up on the screen. So I'm looking at it going, oh, that's interesting. You don't normally see, a 2194 for sale. Those machines are really quite old now, and I wasn't overly interested because I thought, well, I've already got one in my collection, which is quite, it's a nice one, it's a decent one. I don't need it anymore. But then there's something about this listing, and it didn't catch my eye, but it made my brain go, hang on a minute, hang on. That's worth a second look. So I thought, all right, and I'd scroll past. It's like a delayed reaction. Your brain's going flick. There's something there. Look at it. So I went back to it, opened it up full, so it came up on the screen. And I'm sat there looking, and I'm thinking, there's something really strange about that machine. There was only two pictures of it. They're both of the front of the cleaner. So it wasn't like, any detail or anything, but there was just something about it. And I thought to myself, I've got a theory about that. And I can't ask the guy the questions that I want to ask, because, he's just some guy selling an old Hoover. So you can't ask him, what year was it made? Why is that logo slightly different? All those really detailed technical questions that only people who really know what they're talking about would be able to answer. So I messaged the guy, went through the whole conversation. How much do you want for it? £15. Right, fine. Where are you? I'm in Newport. Can I come over now? Yes, that's fine. So jumped in the car, drove over to Newport, went to this guy's house, knocked on the door. So he opened it, and he's there with the vacuum cleaner. I'm like, I want to get my hands on it. I want to get this vacuum cleaner. I want to look at it, and I want to see if my thoughts on it are correct. So I gave him the money, and then he gave me the cleaner, and I was looking at it, and I was like, oh my god, this is something special. And the reason it's something special is for multiple reasons. I've got it right here. It's right here, and I'm going to show it to you now. So this is the 2194 that I bought. So this is the one I was talking about when I did that post on the community tab of the channel. This is what I was talking about. This is the one I went to get. Now, at first glance, you think, oh, it's just a 2194. There's nothing special about it. You used to see these all the time. All the time. They were so common because they sold a bucket full of them. But this particular machine is special. And the reason it's special is because of, and I need to compare it to the other one. This cleaner is from 1983, so it's the original version of 2194. And if I have a look at the serial number, just bring the handle down. So this was manufactured in June of '83, and I think I'm right in saying that Hoover started to make these machines. The very first run was in March of '83. I could be wrong there, not entirely sure. Very hard to find any records of the exact month that Turbopower production started. If you know, again, always please comment, let me know, tell us, because you know it's good to share the knowledge, isn't it? So this one here is the machine that was in my collection originally. Oh, excuse me. God, oh, lovely. Attractive, isn't it? So this, yeah, as I say, this is from 1984. So let me have a quick look at the serial number. It's down here, hiding. 430. So this is March 1984. Okay. So differences. Well, the first thing you can see is that the logo and graphics on the bag door down here are different. So you've got, on the later machine, you have the royal warrant, the royal warrant. That's really hard to say here, and then you just have the word Turbopower. Okay. On this one, you have the royal warrant and the words Hoover Turbopower. Okay, so there's our first difference. Next, and this is the bit that really sort of triggered me. Now I need to move the camera up so you can see it properly, so give me 2 seconds, I'll be right back. So this bit was the biggest clue that I had for this, so when I saw the pictures of this one. And it's the colour of the bag door release. You can see that this one, the later machine, is of dark colour. It's like a dark burgundy, so it matches with the rest of the trim of the cleaner. But this one has a light coloured, it's almost red. It's almost red, this one here, and that was the biggest clue. That was the bit that said to me, there's something funny about this cleaner, because I couldn't see anything else. I mean, I could have looked at the leaflets, I suppose, and seen the, you know, the branding and the printing on the bag door, but no, that was the bit that really went, ooh, hello. And there's one other thing as well. Now I couldn't see this in the listing, but the very first machines had colour-coded bellows, and you kind of think to yourself, well, why did they do that? That's really odd. So this one has a red bellows. You can see it there. You see the red bellows? Now, see some. You might be able to see some tape around it. Unfortunately, there you go. The this bellows has got 2 massive holes in it, which is a real shame. But having said that, it's 37 years old. That bellows is 37 years old, and it's been pushed and pulled around all that time. So to still have it there is a miracle. That is an absolute miracle. You can see it has a black lower cover plate. This was a real weakness on Turbopower, especially the early ones. I'm not surprised to see that is black. It should be burgundy like the rest of the cleaner, but it's not. So that is a replacement panel. This one is also black as well, so you know, they broke, sadly. Yeah, so that one, that is amazing. And the Turbopower Junior, the U1100, the very early ones of those had a beige bellows. And then you had 2198, which was the Autoflex version of the original series, and that had a blue bellows. Finding one of those is incredibly rare. But having said that, I found one. I found one of these, so it's possible. You never know. So that's that. And then the last thing, if I need to open, I'll just open the bag door. You can see this latch plate here. The bag door latch plate on the early machine, it's red. So it was like colour coded to the cleaner. But on this one, on the 1984 machine, you can see it's black. And they were all black. After the very first run, they were all black. So that's that. Just let me close that up. Let's get this bag in. There we go. And so also this one, the 1984 machine, has a black bellows. You can see the black bellows there. And as I say, it has a black cover plate too. So that is really that. What was the other thing? It has a lower cord hook, but I think it's a replacement one because it's black. I'm pretty sure that is black. Kind of hard to tell. It does sort of look like the colour of the top hook, but it's really... I would be surprised if it was originally fitted with that dark colour. It may have been. It's hard to tell. It's possible, I suppose, but yeah, not entirely sure. I am going to hedge my bets and say that's probably not original because, as I've said to you in previous videos, those lower cord hooks, they just snap all the time. It's amazing to have one on there. Whether or not it's the original, who knows? But yeah, I mean, it's really nice shape. I mean, you can see it on the screen there. I mean, it's come up really nice. So it was a great find, and you know, for £15, oh my god! I'm like, yeah, I'll take that. Obviously, I had to drive to flipping Newport, so it was an 80-mile round trip. I probably spent about 20 quid in fuel. But no, it was, yeah, it was worth it. So that means that this one is going to be for sale. So I'm just going to bring the camera down so you can see it a bit lower, so bear with. Because I obviously don't need two of these, that would just be silly. So yeah, this one's going to go, this one's going to go on eBay. I'm not sure when, soon, hopefully. I'll probably put a link in the video at some point when it's on eBay. So there's just a couple of things I really want to say about this. So what the plan is, I'll do like 2 in-use sections of this video. The first one will be the 1983 machine. Oh, I just thought of something else. Sorry. Original brush roll. Original brush roll. Look at that. Now the brushes are really worn, but this is the original brush roll that Turbopower had, and the original base plate too. Later base plates had a sort of little centerized bit of plastic there. It was pretty thin, just a little tiny thin piece of plastic running front to back, just to give it a little bit of extra support, because they used to break. If people were like a bit rough with them, when they took them off to do the belt and then put it back on, they could snap, especially as they aged. But you can see this has got a black brush roll with black bristles. As I say, not in that great shape, but it's amazing to see this. I haven't seen a black brush roll for so long. And if we compare that to the 1984 machine, I have a theory that this one may have been replaced. This brush roll may have been replaced, but it's got the later dark grey style one. However, still the original base plate with no centerpiece of plastic. Lots of bristles left on this one. This machine's going to clean a lot better than this one is. But yeah, that's a later brush roll, and you can see it's got the green flared edge cleaning-esque bristles. But yeah, There we go. So yeah, as I say, this is going to be for sale. There'll be 2 in-use sections in this video, and I'll put it all in chapters so you can jump to where you want to be. If you want to get past me waffling, I don't blame you. So this one will go first, then we'll go this one, so you'll be able to see it running if you want to bid on it. So just a couple of things to say about this one whilst we're here. Overall, it's in really nice shape. It's got a nice shine to it. The plastic's really good, and I've done my usual servicing to it. You can see the Turbopower rebuild video, which I did on the U2332. I'll link that for you so you can see it. So motor-wise and mechanically, it's perfect. Just a couple of things to mention on the body. There are some scratches and scores here on this side of the hood. Obviously, I'll put some decent photographs up of it. So it's quite badly scored here on this side. This side's okay. The Hoover lettering is starting to wear off the front. If I just tip that forward, you can't really see it anymore. I can see it from this angle, but yeah, it's wearing off. This one does have a lower court hook, but it's green. So this has obviously come from a U2332. The original would have broken, as they always do. So this particular cleaner is what? 36. It's 36 years old, and Hoover never intended these cleaners to go past 8 years. Never. It was never their plan. They were not built to last. They're not like the older Hoovers. These machines, they're plastic vacs, plastic wears, plastic gets weak. So yeah, it is a miracle that I have 2 of these in such nice shape as well. So that's green, but it's in place. One other thing, the chassis is wearing here. So this is the handle release ratchet pedal. So what happens here is this side, the inboard side, is held in place with a metal bracket that runs over the body, over the pivot on the lower body down here, and it's screwed in. There's one screw at the back, one screw at the front. The other side of it is basically just pushed into the chassis. There's a really tiny little bit of plastic. I can't even do it with my fingers. It's so small that sticks out of the side of the pedal moulding, which locates into the chassis itself. Now, over time, with all the stress on it, the chassis starts to wear. It's not the pedal. The pedal is really hard plastic. The chassis plastic is not as hard as the pedal plastic is. And with all this up and down movement, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and all the pressure of the spring, it wears the chassis moulding. So what you find is when you press the pedal down and you release it and the body comes back, it's fine. It holds it. Look, it will hold the machine. It will bring it up. It's not going to break. But when you put it back, sometimes you'll find the pedal does not fully engage. So you're just on the cusp there. That has actually caught, but looking at that angle, it's not quite right. So you need to just press it with your foot and it will pop back, and it will pop back in place. So that is now absolutely 100% locked. So you can see there that you can pull the machine back so the handle's up. But you'll find that with time that won't. Oh, there we go. Look, see, it's not locking. So when you put the handle up, you just need to touch it with your foot like that, and then it locks. Nothing you can do about that. You basically need to change the whole chassis moulding, which would be a shame because it's the original chassis. It's got the original red wheels as well. I forgot to mention that on this one. This one has red wheels with a burgundy hubcap. Both of them have that, so that's nice to see. And that's it. That is the Tale of Two Turbopowers. Amazing. this is an incredible find. I am absolutely over the moon with it. This is a really nice machine. It will do someone proud in their collection. There's nothing you really need to do to it. If you want to put a new chassis on it, it's a relatively easy job. Sort out that pedal, and that's it. So that's enough waffling from me. It's another absolute load of waffle. Let's take them into the lounge and give them a run. 1983 first, followed shortly after by 1984.